Good morning, folks. Welcome to another weekday show. I'm Mark Beggs, and this is Mark's Business Check-in. We go live every weekday from 7:30 a.m. for about 20 minutes to talk about things that challenges I have found in business over the last 30 years like that have not worked for me, that if you know about them, you make sure you don't do them yourself. Things that have worked for me, that if you do them, may help you. So we do this every morning. We're live on YouTube. We're live on LinkedIn. We are live also on TikTok. So I'm just putting my other channel live here. So we are live on a good few mediums. Our main channel is YouTube. So if we've been doing this, we've been doing this since the 6th of January. So if you miss any of our shows, they're all there on YouTube, covering all types of things, planning the year ahead, making sure you get things right. They're all there on our YouTube channel at Mind's Eye Education. There's an awful lot of free training videos as well there, and stuff relating to workshops I've given and stuff like that may help you in your business. Just subscribe on our YouTube channel, or follow us on LinkedIn, or follow us on Instagram, and you will get all the information there. So this morning I want to talk about something that someone I know who has their own business said to me, or I heard saying a few days ago, that when they started out in business, they were doing skiing in Scotland. Yes, skiing in Scotland, doing ski trips, that he was a chancer. And it got me thinking that really all entrepreneurs are chancers. Because if you look at the meaning of the word chancer in the dictionary, it's a person who exploits an opportunity to further their own ends or further an opportunity. So, or a person who pushes the luck. So a person who exploits any opportunity. And really, when you go back years, Edison, when he invented the light bulb, he was a chancer. Like he did a lot of experiments to see how could he get the light bulb to work. So, and when he did get it to work, then he sold it as a commercial product. And we can go back, we don't even have to go back that far. Even look at Kentucky Fried Chicken. Like there's someone coming up with a recipe for chicken where in the States and elsewhere, people were already eating that type of chicken. But he was a chancer. He took a risk of developing a recipe that he thought suited himself and what his customers like, and he launched that called the Kentucky Fried Chicken. Same with McDonald's. They were chancers when they started their first place. Same with LinkedIn, YouTube, Google. They were all chancers who were taking a chance on doing something that was different, to take the opportunity to grow a business and to take the opportunity to change their own environment and their own lives. So there's many people out there who run businesses who had no experience in the business when they started. When I started my first business in the UK, I had no experience, real experience in catering. I had worked in restaurants, yes, but I had no experience of running a business. I had no experience of getting a bank loan. I had no experience of going around knocking on doors, asking restaurants to deal with me. And people look at them, and the Irish are great at saying this in English, that they're a chancer. But that's actually, in a lot of ways, a compliment. Because many of the businesses out there that you see nowadays are people taking a chance. People doing it for themselves. So they are chancers. But you have to be an organised, intelligent chancer to make it work, to see the opportunities. Like we've seen Elon Musk with electric cars. He saw the opportunity in the marketplace. He took a chance. And it's fine for him. We saw Jeff Bezos, if I'm saying that correct, with Amazon. Like when he started Amazon, everyone bought their books from bookshops. And I was only at to come into the internet at that stage. We just acquired Indigo, the Irish ISP, and we had that business. And someone started a bookshop. We thought it was fantastic. We all thought it was a weird name. Why call it Amazon? Nobody will remember that name, right? But here's someone who believed that the way people were going to buy things was going to be different because of the internet. They saw it as a medium to reach people. And he was a chancer in launching that business from his own house, selling books on this site called Amazon that may or may not work. But that's taking a chance. That's really taking a chance and doing things differently, which is fantastic. And there's many, many businesses out there. Many business people who are working this morning, going into work for other people, the companies they're working for, all started off by someone being a chancer, by someone taking a chance and doing something to create an opportunity. And we've seen it all over the world with telecoms. We've seen it in Ireland with Digicel, Aircel, all the companies that are around at the moment selling broadband and all that type of stuff. Seen it with Sky. They all started off by someone looking at an idea and saying, we can do this in a different way. And one of the best examples of all that, of course, is Virgin. Like when Virgin started his magazine business when he was a child, like that was him being a chancer. He needed to earn money. He wasn't interested in school. He wanted to get into something else. He liked music, never printed a magazine, but sure, I'll take a chance and see what will happen. And it worked for him. He did the same with Virgin Records. He wanted to change how records were being sold and the way it was being sold and the type of service people were getting. So, being the chancer he is, he started the record business, Virgin Records. And we've seen him doing it again and again. Virgin Airlines. He looked at the way the airlines were treating people, the fares they were charging, and the type of service they were giving. And he said, this isn't right. We can do it better. I can do it better. The Virgin brand can do it much better. So he was a chancer. He took the opportunity and he did it better. And I don't know if you've ever seen The Commitments. There's a line in there, and you can use the same line, but shout out, yes, I'm an entrepreneur and I'm a chancer. And that's what it's all about. Taking a chance on the business and taking a chance on yourself. That's the big thing. Because first of all, you're taking a chance that the opportunity that you're going to exploit is a good opportunity and there's room for you in the marketplace. And maybe you're going to create the marketplace, which is even better, which means there's much more room for you because you're going to create that marketplace. Brilliant, right? But the person you have to take the most chance on is yourself. You have to be a chancer to take on the opportunity. So you have to trust yourself to set up a new business. And maybe you've never set up a business before. You've never registered a company. You've never told the revenue you're going to be a sole trader. Maybe you've never registered for VAT. You never registered as an employer. Maybe you've never even talked to a supplier and asked them about credit or asked them how can I sell your product. Maybe you've never ever sold a product to an individual, but you believe there's an opportunity there to be exploited for you to do that and make a very good living of it. And that's what being a chancer is all about. Taking a chance on yourself that the opportunity you see will turn to gold. So, and as the definition says, a person who exploits any opportunity to further their own ends. That's the definition of a chancer. And you can look at that negatively or positively. Most entrepreneurs will look at that positively because that's what they're doing day in, day out. They're taking chances. They're doing things their way. They're changing how things have been done. Now, you might say accountants, solicitors, people like that, they haven't really changed things, but they can. Maybe they're giving a different type of service. Maybe they're giving a more personal service. Maybe they're offering mini services within their business that other solicitors don't offer, or other accountants don't offer. Maybe they're going to have workshops to help the customers who are only starting off, explain them how to register VAT, or how to run their own business, or how to manage their cash flow, or how to manage their overheads. Maybe they are doing things differently. Most of them do something. Everyone tries in business to do things differently that other people are not doing in order they have a competitive advantage over someone else. That's how you make the money. Yes, you can copy someone else and do it exactly the same. But where's the fun in that? You copy someone's business as someone who's doing well, and you say, great, okay, I want to do that. But then you add on your own spin to it. You add on your own spin. Martin is saying good advice on my TikTok. Thanks, Martin. Appreciate that. So being a chancer, it's all about taking a chance on yourself and exploiting the situation. Edison's done it. Colonel Sanders done it. McDonald's have done it. UCI Cinemas have done it. Netflix have done it. I remember when I had a DVD company, we sent DVDs out in the post to people. So people went online, picked a video, and we posted it out. It was based on a model called, I think it's called the Red Box. I think it was called the Red Box in the States. So we're looking at saying, well, why go down to the video store? Why spend 20, 30, 40 minutes in the video store with your takeaway going cold, looking for a movie that may not be there? Wouldn't it be better to have it delivered to your door? So we were chancers. And we took a chance on how do we buy our CDs. At that stage, to buy a CD, you couldn't buy a normal CD and rent it. You had to buy a special copy of a CD or a video to rent it out. So I used to buy my DVDs secondhand from Exhibition, from the video stores. So we would put these videos up on our site about 2 weeks after they were released in Exhibition. Because Exhibition, if you remember when they were around, anyone who remembers Exhibition in the video stores, they used to sell off the stock. So all the new stock they got in, a new movie might come in tomorrow, they have loads of copies of it, but within about 2 weeks, not as many people wanted it, so they would sell it off, and I would go in and buy them, and then we would put them on our site. So we were chancers, and we were developing a business like that. So we were taking a business from the high street and putting it online. So we saw an opportunity to exploit, and we exploited it. Netflix has done the exact same thing. Netflix have gone one step further. They then went into streaming. I remember a lot of their business, when they started off, was by post, the same as us. But they decided to slowly go into streaming. They saw an opportunity there. They were chancers. They were chancers. So everyone in business is a chancer, and it's a compliment, because the chancer is really saying you're willing to take the risk to do it for yourself. You're willing to take the risk to take that opportunity to change it for yourself. And as the definition says, a chancer is a person who exploits any opportunity to further their own ends. So if you want to improve your living conditions, you want to improve your lifestyle, you want to go away on more holidays, you want to change your life, you want to control your own life and be the destiny of your own life, then you have to take a chance. As Abba said, take a chance on me. That's what it's all about, taking a chance, right? And I know an awful lot of business owners, and we could be sitting there having a cup of coffee, and I say something to them. I'm meeting one this morning, and I might say something. Well, you should do that differently, or why don't you do that by doing it this way and advertising it on Facebook or doing a LinkedIn promotion or something like that? And they will say, yeah, okay. Someone will go away with the idea, and they do it. Do I care? No, but they're taking the chance that the idea I just gave them is going to work, right? And that's what it's all about. And most chances are creative people. Now, I know in Ireland, England, we still use the term for people who maybe are taking a chance the wrong reason and maybe going to scam people. But real chances, qualified chancers, are people what we call entrepreneurs, business owners, to go out and do it for themselves and develop their own businesses. And as I said, we have a whole list of them. No matter what business you look at, most of them start by one or two individuals or three individuals getting together to do something that maybe they hadn't done before, which is run their own business, and maybe to exploit an idea which they have never worked in. Like Colonel Sanders didn't work doing chicken beforehand. Richard Branson didn't know how to publish a magazine. He knew music until he went and found out how to publish a magazine. There's many examples of different people in different areas who've gone into things, into the drinks industry, the food industry, all types of industries, who have no experience in that industry, but they're going to buy that experience or learn on a job. And we've always seen it. We say it every day. He's a chancer. She's a chancer. But they're doing it in the right way. They're trying to do stuff that's different. They're doing stuff that at least half the population of the world will not do and will not risk. And that's taking a chance. So, if you are a qualified chancer and you're running your own business, absolutely fantastic. I hope it's going really well for you. And really, every day, anyone who's an entrepreneur or running their own business, you're doing stuff every day. You're firefighting. You're looking for solutions. You're coming up with creative ways to sell, creative ways to push your product, creative ways to market your brand, creative ways to get money in, whether it's creditors or whether trying to get new investors into your business. You're being creative. You're taking a chance on yourself. And what's wrong with that? Absolutely nothing. That's fantastic. So, if I was you, I'd write that definition of a chancer down if you're running your own business and remind yourself every day why you're doing it. Why are you doing it? You're doing it because you're a person who exploits any opportunity to further their own ends. And I would change that slightly to any opportunity within your area. So if you're in the alarm business, you're an electrician, you're a painter, you might exploit an opportunity to do painting in a different way or to offer a different type of service. Maybe you might decide that you're going to offer everyone on one street a special rate to paint the hall doors this week, as long as they all take it up, so your crew can move into the whole road, paint all those hall doors and be gone and do it at a special rate. That's taking a chance on a new way of getting business. Just a business idea for you. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're a business person, shout out loud, shout out strong, you're a chancer and you're doing it your way. So thanks so much for joining me this morning. Just to say to you, if you're based in Dublin, be very careful this morning because it says it's 6 degrees where it feels like -5 and there's a lot of rain and wind coming. The same in London. It's 6 degrees at the moment in London, but feels like 1. So it's cold over there as well. So no matter where you are, just remember we're here every weekday morning from 7:30 a.m. for about 20 minutes talking about business, about my experience over the last 30 years, things that have not worked for me. I'm going to tell you about them and hopefully you don't make the same mistakes. And the things that have worked for me, I'll tell you about them and hopefully you'll use them to your advantage, take a chance on them and make them work for you. And if you're looking for any of our past shows, they're all on YouTube at Mind's Eye Education. So we have all our shows since the 6th of January. We have a lot of stuff up there. We're also on podcast. You can catch us every day on podcast. This show will be on a podcast in about an hour's time. It'll be live on podcast as soon as it's downloaded. So wherever you get your podcast, whether it's Spotify, Apple, Google, or wherever you listen to your podcast, just put in my name, Mark Beggs, or Mark Listens To, and you'll see all our shows there, from this morning's show to all our shows. And do on our YouTube, hit follow on our podcast. If you could hit follow or subscribe, I would really appreciate it. Everything is free. Everything is free. It doesn't cost you a penny. Hit the follow button. I hit the subscribe button. Sorry. That's the cue for me to stop talking. So hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And if you need to contact me, my name is Mark Beggs. You can contact me on markbeggs@gmail.com. So that's markbeggs@gmail.com. And all I can say to you this morning is go and be a great chancer and develop your business the way you want to and do it well and do it for yourself and your family and be a chancer.